This is Austin St. John, Jason, the original Red Ranger. You are watching the Morphin Network.
Three typical average kids love to read their comic strips, wishing one day they could be Big Bad Beetleborgs. Beetleborgs, Big Bad.
Oh, hell no.
Boards, Big Bad Beetle.
Oh, hell no. You are not singing Big Bad Beetleborgs up in here.
What? You don't want?
Are you serious? You were seriously singing Big Bad Beetleborgs? Who in today's media knows anything about Big Bad? What's up, everyone? Psycho Fox here from Ranger Podcast Live. New episode, Morphin Network. I'm sorry, tongue twister all around. Endgame, a Game of Thrones, all this weekend. My mind is still a little boggled right now, so I know speak well as of right now. I speak like Jar Jar, so I apologize. But here to help me with my sanity is Quasar Red. Take it away. Yes.
How did Beetleborgs remind you to do the introduction?
Because today's episode of Ranger Podcast Live, we are doing the new episode of Power Rangers Beast Morphers. The Cybergate is now officially open, and we have Beetle DNA injected into a robot, but we'll talk about that as we go forward. Go ahead.
As well as human DNA.
Human DNA and Beetleborg DNA put into a robot. Beast Morphers has officially become Age of Ultron. Anyways.
I didn't get the joke earlier, but now I do. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get started. So, before we get started, I just want to say thank you all for coming by. YouTube and Facebook, if y'all are watching this live or if you're watching this recorded, thank you guys very much. If you are on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, hit the notification button, like us a second time, like us a third time, and be sure to follow us here on Facebook. And with all that being said, let's get started. So, Avengers Endgame. So, I'm joking. No. I'm joking. So, Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Question. So, how did you like the episode, Quasar? Before we get into the review.
Overall, great start for Nate's time as a Ranger. I think some of the dialogue was a bit corny, but pretty good overall. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts?
Corny is the understatement for a specific character, but we'll get into that when we get there. So, I actually very much enjoyed it. Nate becoming a Power Ranger reminds me of when Ziggy became the Green Ranger in RPM, where you had these two like partially skinny kids, like they're not, slim kids, and they actually know how to defend themselves in their own capable ways. Ziggy worked for the Mafia, so he has some connections and knows how to use the environment around him. Nate is a nerd who knows how to fix a robot and create robots and somehow managed to put his DNA in another robot. So, yeah, good for Nate, man. Happy to see that Nate is now officially a Power Ranger. I'm happy about that. Nate is working on a new set of blasters, but the thing is, he needs to use actual DNA. He needs insect DNA to complete it, and of course, he cannot leave Grid Battle Force because he is a prodigy child. And he is an asset. He is everyone's meal ticket in Grid Battle Force. If you lose him, it's over. The fight against Evox is over with. And surprise! We also see Betty and Ben. They're actually testing out a new tracker device, which is actually kind of funny. It reminded me like when let's say you're doing another level in the video game. You're doing the exact same level in the video game, but a harder difficulty and a different objective. That's what it reminded me of, because Ben was like, "Where is Betty?" And next thing you know, Nate knocks on the ice cream machine, and boom, opens up.
Which apparently Grid Battle Force has ice cream dispensers in their hallways.
I need to know. I need a blueprint on everything Grid Battle Force has, because at this point it is ridiculous how much stuff they have. It's like it's like a freaking bunker. Like they have almost everything in case like nuclear Armageddon happens and Evox actually does win and somehow gets the Avengers virus. Anyways, that's the point. So, the Rangers are like, okay, we will take you. We can't let you leave. We will take you with us. Okay, we can go to the forest. You can get whatever DNA you need, and let's go. Meanwhile, in the Legion of Doom, the cyber dimension,
It was the warehouse. It was back in the warehouse.
My bad. Scrozzle is working on a gate. I call it the Stargate, but it's the Cybergate to get Evox out of the digital world. And they're like, "Hey, look, we have this, but I need someone who has the capabilities of actually opening this." So Blaze and Roxy, Avatar Blaze and Avatar Roxy, you're like, "Wait, that nerd. Let's go get the nerd." So that's what they do. They go get the nerd, which is Nate, and they're like, he knows how to do it. We can try and get him. As Nate is getting DNA from a praying mantis and a beetle, the Rangers get a call that the city's being under attack again, and they're like, "Okay, Nate, you gotta go back. You cannot be out here by yourself. You gotta leave. We gotta gotta do our thing." And he's like, "But I'm almost done." It's like, "No, Nate, listen. You cannot be out here by yourself. Okay, we gotta go. You are a liability. You are a meal ticket. We cannot lose you. If we lose you, it's over. Game over, bro. Like we're in the end game now. Okay."
Which is exactly why all three of us go off to fight the monster, and none of us escort you back to the base ourselves.
This again. Oh, and on top of that, he has a communicator. The same communicator they use that to activate their morphers and stuff like that. He has one, and I'm like, dude, none of y'all know how to teleport.
Right.
Nate is like what, 14, 15? He's like a 15-year-old prodigy. This kid knew exactly how to contain Evox into the digital world. I'm sorry if I'm mixing Digimon and Power Rangers together, but he managed to get Evox into the digital world and knows how to teleport weapons to Rangers. Does he know how to teleport Rangers out of the battlefield? Or any other innocent subordinates that are part of Grid Battle Force?
Insert that clip from that one movie, I don't know, where everyone in the audience is going...
No, or you just insert Kevin Hart saying, come here. The way my bank account set up is, I try to check in the savings, but you can't cash it until Tuesday. Because apparently, Grid Battle Force does not have the budget to create teleportation for humans, only inanimate objects. Which then goes back to my complaint about last week's episode where Jax got the little mini discs. And I'm like, why can't you teleport him? Why is you're leaving Jax out in the open right now, people? What is going on?
Yes, seriously.
I really don't understand. And look, I want y'all to know this episode is still amazing. It's still awesome, but it's the little things, the little things that I know Daggerboy tells me to. Oh no, brush it away. I'm like, no, fam. This is a government-funded facility. This is a government-funded organization. Hell-bent on destroying a virus. You cannot tell me that it's not in their budget to make teleportation. You can continue from here. Go ahead. So Nate is by himself now.
Yeah, Nate's by himself. He gets captured by Roxy and Blaze. And the Rangers go off to fight. Funny story, the other day I was wondering, there weren't a whole lot of vacuum monsters in this show lately. And then, ironically, this episode has one. So it cuts to the Rangers, showing up, and we see where that scene where them running comes from.
Yo, I want to stop you right there. I just realized something. The monster of the day is a vacuum. I have no problem with that, and he sucks out Morph X. Okay, that's his whole shtick. Here's my problem. When the hell did all the cars in Pearl Harbor? Yeah, I would say Pearl Harbor. When the hell did all the cars in Pearl Harbor start taking Morph X?
I thought this was like a slow project.
Yeah, exactly. I know when Zoe made the bikes, they were being made with the energy of Morph X to keep traffic down and stuff like that, so they didn't have to cut down the force. But at no point in the previous 7 episodes did they ever mention the fact that these cars are now going, the energy supply is from Morph X?
Mm-hmm.
When was this? I watched all 7 episodes prior to this episode. When the hell did they establish that these cars now run on Morph X?
Off-screen time, pretty much.
No! You can't just tell me this crap happened off screen, bro. I'm trying to keep myself from cussing, bro. I need y'all to establish it. You've already established everything that's happened in the show. Why can't you? You haven't even. So what was stopping you from establishing what's going on outside of the world of Grid Battle Force and the adults that are being made to become soldiers to fight Eva?
So the Rangers fight and put up a pretty good battle, and then suddenly it cuts back to Nate and them being taken to the lab, and that's where he apparently, is this the first time he's met, this is pretty much the first time he's met Scrozzle?
This is his first time he's met Scrozzle. I would say Avatar Roxy and Avatar Blaze, but I forgot. In the first episode, he met them because he saved Robbie from getting sucked into. But yeah, this is his first time ever meeting Scrozzle.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, I don't have the ability to create robots, but you do. And so he orders Nate to pretty much build Evox, a robot, for a body for him to pilot, which, screams... This part just reminds me of RPM with Venjix, and
yeah.
Nate tries to pull in a wimp act, pretending he's, not as capable, and he's just like, okay, I'll do it, don't hurt me. and so he gets to work building the robot, then the monster gets away, back on the battlefield, and so the Rangers go off to patrol it, and at first I was like, why didn't any of you use the car to follow the monster? But then we cut later on in the episode, we see, each of them are using their own vehicles to,
their own Zords,
yeah, patrol the city, which that part was pretty cool.
And on top of that, Ben and Betty are the MVPs, low key, because their insubordination and sometimes they're at times lack of their surroundings, just sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Caused them to lose their tracker, and their tracker coincidentally was on the truck where the vacuum monster put all the Morphex on.
Mm-hmm.
But continue.
Oh, by the way, as a side note, Ben and Betty were going to a movie. Were you expecting them to say, hey, Ben,
Endgame?
What movie were you want to go see? Endgames? Or something like that. Anyway.
Battle of Winterfell?
What?
I said Battle of Winterfell.
So the Rangers go back to the base. They didn't end up finding the monster, and then Commander Shaw is like, "We have a bigger emergency. Nate is missing," and so like they're going, "Oh my gosh, we left him out in the forest, and we gotta find him." And Commander Shaw is like, "Hold on, Nate's capable of handling himself. We should give him some time." And she doesn't scold the Rangers for pretty much leaving their biggest asset.
You left a 16-year-old child outside. You left a 16-year-old prodigy that is our meal to the beating Evox. You left his ass in the forest by himself.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? You have one job. Dude, that's what I really want Commander Shaw to be like, you had one job. You had one job, fam. And you left this 16-year-old, you left his ass in a forest. How? How, Sway?
Right. And then maybe they could have responded by saying, well, why don't we have teleportation now?
Oh my god. It's in your budget to employ 2 people who the only reason why they have a job is because their daddy is the general of Grid Battle Force. You have the budget that give them God knows how much. I don't know how much do people make at Grid Battle Force? They have to make at least bare minimum. Okay, janitorial service is probably making roughly 40 grand. The people who are actually like military operatives and stuff are probably making like 70, maybe 80 grand. And then you got Betty and Roxy who are probably making about 6 figures because their daddy's the general.
And by the way, you guys, apparently it was higher priority to have an ice cream machine in this.
How much does their ice cream machine cost? Who is their accountant at Grid Battle Force? I need to know. These are questions I need answered at this moment because I'm realizing whoever is that person who is the accountant, who is doing the accounting work for Grid Battle Force, may have been the same dude who tried to put on the Fire Festival a couple of years back. And we all know what happened during the Fire Festival. Y'all remember the cheese sandwich post on IG. I'm just saying.
And so they go off, get ready, and the Rangers, find the place, and Nate completes the robot. Devin and them are like scoping out the place, and he says, "I looked through a broken window. I felt the need to make sure that was what it was."
There was not a broken window. Also, dude, Devin has the abilities of the Flash. He can easily, and he has cheated DNA. You could have just easily said Devin ran around 2 times in a row around the warehouse. And be like, okay, I saw him. He's in there. You didn't have to say a broken window because there was no broken window. There were no windows around that warehouse.
And then the vacuum monster shows up and says, "Evox is coming back to this world." And the Rangers are just like, "Oh, that's not good." And then they morph and get to fighting.
And get beat up bad.
What?
And they get their butts handed to.
Yeah, this episode had really good fights. Really good fight choreography. Anyway, so then Nate's in the base, or in the warehouse. They get ready to bring Evox back to, their universe. And Nate is also secretly fixing his communicator, which cracked when he was kidnapped. And and then the portal opens, Evox slowly slithers out, and then Nate, was able to teleport his gun. Yeah, teleport. And Black.
We're never gonna get past the whole teleportation thing. We really aren't.
So Nate blasts the gate. Evox gets sucked back in. And Nate, uses and Roxy's just like, "He's ruined our plan," which sounded a lot like Angelica from Rugrats for some reason.
No, it sounded like Tanaya 7 from RPM.
Really? I don't know. I feel like Tanaya had a little more dignity.
No. Okay, look. I want us to do an RPM review at some point because I have a lot to say about Tanaya 7. I really do.
Anyway, so then Nate, runs to the Cybergate,
shoots it up,
which apparently fixes it. Mega Voyager getting hit with a sword fixed that problem. Well, sort of. Anyway, and then he pulls out the insect DNA, and he is transformed into the new Gold Ranger, the new Beast Morphers Gold Power Ranger. I have to say. Usually Power Ranger costumes, when it comes to, between the American and the Japanese, normally the Americans look better, or Japanese looks better, and sometimes the original ones are pretty much on par, or at least, look okay.
Yeah.
But in this case, I actually think Nate's costume looks better than the Japanese version. Some about it, like the gold looks a little sharp, looks a little more thicker or something. And
well, you gotta keep this in mind. Go Busters came out years before, because I think Go Busters came out before
Dino Charge.
For Kyudo Ranger. So the show, the Sentai footage is roughly 3 to 4 years old. So they had, and like on Daggerboy had said earlier, they had to, I am likely or not, they had to do some updates to the suits to make them look a more Americanized. It's kind of like how Zulu Ranger, if you ever look at the Prince Borai, the Green Ranger in that series, and then Tommy in the American version, Tommy's shield is a lot more shinier, and it looks a little bit more plasticky or something like that, or a little more foamy. But you can clearly tell the difference between the Green Ranger and Prince Borai from Zulu Ranger.
Right, and with like in Dino Charge, Ivan's costume, instead of giving it a gold, they gave it like a tan color, gold, and Levi's costume was a little better, but overall, yeah, I really like this Nate suit looks. So then Nate gets ready to, fight, and then suddenly his robot wakes up, and, suddenly, he has these antler horns appear on him that resemble a stag beetle, and then he gets morphed into the Silver Ranger.
Big bad Beetleborgs! Big bad Beetleborgs! Because legit, they have insect DNA! And I'm like, this is Beetleborgs! This is modern day Beetleborgs, bro!
Something that... Oh, sorry, what?
Go ahead, no.
Okay, I'll say this, then you can say what you say.
Okay.
Actually, so, throughout the last few episodes, we've seen that helmet of, spoiler for what we're about to say in a few minutes, Steel's head. And, it's been missing the antlers. And, the reason why he has them now is because he bonded to the beetle DNA, which I thought was actually a really cool way to, work that into why he looks like this. Like, they could have just, had him with the antlers the whole time and not really question anything. But no, they actually work in something. They actually work it in why he has these antlers on his head, which kind of reminds me of when Lightning Cruiser and Stormblaster had the turbo symbol appear on them.
Big bad Beetleborgs! Oh my god! Wait. Speaking of someone who looks like a beetle or a Beetleborg, before you say anything, Daggerboy, before you say anything, let it be known, some of the people who are in our audience have not seen Endgame. Do not spoil it, okay? We're trying not to spoil Endgame. You will be kicked out if you spoil Endgame on a Power Ranger podcast, okay?
I'll say this: it's good to be fat.
It's good to be fat.
That's all I can say.
Hold on. Look, dude. Look. I'm sorry. We're saying that out of context. If y'all seen Endgame, y'all know what. Look, dude. If you have seen Endgame, you guys know exactly what we're talking about. All right, I'm done. All right, so now going back into it. So while we're about to get a gold and silver ranger, Devin, Ravi, and Zoe are getting their butts handed to. Like, legit, it's like every single time they try to get as close to the warehouse as possible, the vacuum monster beats them down again. I would say, what's the word you like using a lot, Daggerboy? Stakes. Yeah, stakes. There were actual stakes in this fight because they did not know if Nate was going to die. You know, this kind of reminds me. Remember in Power Rangers in Space when they found out Zane was comatose and they were trying to keep the bad guys away from getting to his ice chamber, and then he flatlined, but that's because he had to come back to life. That's what it kind of reminded me of, especially when you see the aura coming out of the warehouse and Nate becoming a ranger. They didn't know he was dead or not. I like that. I like that little tang to it. But then we get to the Beetleborgs. Nate and Steel fighting off Scrozzle's henchmen, and then Blaze and Roxy try to get into the fight. They actually do fight them and then get their butts kicked. They then go outside to help the Rangers fight the monster and fight the henchmen as well. I will say this though. Up until a certain point, I did not like Steel's voice. I did not like the fact that he's like, "Oh yeah," but I'm like, you know what? I realized he's a newborn child. I mean, newborn robot, and then his voice does get better later on.
You mean Vision?
It's funny. His voice.
Yeah,
Sorry, what?
Vision.
It's funny. His voice reminds me of the Astroborgs from Beetleborgs, which I'm sure no one knows who they are.
Yeah. Like the Astro. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. So, Scrozzle is back at in the digital world. He sends out the Gigadrone. The Rangers go to fight the Gigadrone while Nate and Steel fight the rest of the henchmen and beat up the vacuum monster. It's a pretty cool Megazord fight. It was cool to see that like Cruz being his energy getting sucked out of the Megazord and stuff like that. And again, we see that the Blue Ranger Megazord goes to ape mode and shoots banana missiles, which is always cool. They get into the Megazord. They beat the monster. A very cool fight. But honestly, the highlight of the episode is watching the Gold and Silver Ranger fight the henchman and fight the robot and able to beat them. And probably a scene that made me laugh a little bit was when they're about to use their final move, and Nate's like, excuse me, like I get my gun. I'm like, the dude's like, hold up, back up. I want to shoot him first. It was cool. It actually does set up a little. Maybe it sets up the fact that they might have a little tension because you've always wanted a brother, and he doesn't realize how much work you need to put into being a brother. So they beat him. They go back to Grid Battle Force. They give the robot a name. His new name is Steel. And yeah,
His name. No, my name is Mr. Fantastic Awesome Steel.
we'll just call you Steel for short, dude. It's not. Look, it's not in our budget in Grid Battle Force to put that in your name. We can't put like a tag on you saying my name is Mr. Fantastic Awesome Steel. Go ahead.
Copyrights.
Yeah, that and you don't have the budget to teleport people, so yeah. It's not in your budget, Grid Battle Force. But the episode does not end on a light note. The episode ends with Scrozzle realizing, and after talking to Evox, wait a minute, we can still put you in that robot.
Mm-hmm.
So we have an idea. We're gonna take this new Silver Ranger, who is a robot. We're gonna try to find a way to kidnap him, and we're gonna put your memory, your firmware, main. I can't remember the name. The mother brain, mainframe, and put it into the robot. And it ends on like a subtle, not a subtle note, but like kind of a dark note where it's like even though Steel is now a blessing because they don't just have not 4 but 5 new Rangers. Steel's gonna be a liability. So Steel's gonna essentially become their Bumblebee from the cartoons.
He's gonna be Thanos.
He's just Vision, dude.
They're
gonna take his mainframe out, and they're gonna 2-piece him twice.
They're just Vision.
Anyways, but yeah, that's the end of the episode. That is episode 8 of Power Rangers Power Rangers.
And the mid-season finale.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is. Dude,
are you serious?
Yeah, it is. No movie episodes till fall.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking up right now.
Serious.
Power. We're doing all right. You know what? Ken, while I'm looking this up, you give your likes, dislikes, and give your rating. Go ahead.
Okay, so the episode, like I said, good start for Nate as the Gold Ranger, and it's also a nice way to introduce Steel. I think my only issue with it is that there were a few too many corny puns. For example, the vacuum monster saying, "You suckers," or "I'm gonna mop the floor with you," or "I've been grounded," and I'm just like, yeah. But after rewatching it a few times, they're not as annoying. But what I did like I said, Nate's costume, it looks great. The fights were amazing in this episode. The Zora battle was pretty cool, and yeah, even the ending, which last week's episode, ended with Blaze and Roxy pretty much just giving up on trying to control the Megazord. This one, they're like, maybe we don't have to give up, or we don't have to, stop using the Steel as your new body evox, we can actually, still take it for ourselves, and you can still have a form, and the Cybergate is not completely destroyed yet either. So that was cool. That was great. If this is the mid-season finale, it's gonna be a bummer.
It is, dude.
Yeah, I know, Ryan. I know. And
Damn it, it is!
Oh god. Oh god.
Yep. Leonard, do you need a moment? Yep.
You just. Oh god.
Don't worry, it's okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
So I give.
Y'all been kicked out. Alright. Nickelodeon, how... We've been giving you W's this entire time, Nickelodeon. And you decide you want this to be the mid-season finale. No one wants a mid-season finale on the 8th episode! Are you serious? We've been giving you W's this whole time! And you mean to tell me that you are going to end on episode 8, not episode 10 or 12? Why? Why? Okay. I'm so upset right now.
Are you okay?
Feel better?
No, I'm not okay!
You lost Kent. Thanks a lot, bro.
He's still here.
Overall, yeah, good, mid-season finale. Bummed out that it is. I'll have to wait 4 months till the next episode, but overall, enjoyed it. And overall, good start for these 2 new characters. Leonard, give yours.
Psycho Fox to you.
Psycho Fox.
Man, there are so many things that irked me about this episode. Just logically irked me, because I'm like, y'all have no teleportation devices. Like y'all literally have no teleportation. How do you not have teleportation? How is teleportation not in your budget? How are you blowing your budget on an ice cream machine? What the hell is wrong with y'all?
Hey, I do want an ice cream machine. I actually want that.
Daggerboy, you're still a child. Hush. Okay.
I am a mate. I can be a new Gold Ranger.
Oh my God, Ryan, you want the ice cream machine? It kind of looked like that pink stuff from Ghostbusters too.
Anyways, but like I said, like there's no you mean to tell me you do not have it in your budget to teleport in actual people? You can only teleport inanimate objects. Number 1. Number 2, how do you have one job, and that was to protect a 16-year-old from getting kidnapped? One of y'all came like, okay, look, you two go. I'll go escort him back to Grid Battle Force.
And then
y'all are just like, Nick, go back. And I'm like,
hey, at least they what I like about it is that they actually know their mistakes. Not like mega.
And I forgot. So if y'all remember episodes prior, we talked about how Ravi didn't get reprimanded for losing the stuff to the machine that Roxy stole, which was going to put Evox's mainframe into steel. No one reprimanded him. Nate should have been like, you remember that thing you stole from my lab? They're using it to put Evox into this damn robot.
Yeah,
so, no, they did not mention that. So I'm going to dock the episode points. It now has a 7. You said, Daggerboy, you said how every episode meshes well about certain events. Nate should be like, hey, boy, that stupid ass machine you took from my freaking lab, they're using it. They're using it to try to put Evox into robots now.
Hey, you never know. They might mention it again later. You never know.
No, it's too late. It's the mid-season finale. We gotta wait until September now.
So, okay, if they do mention it, it's going back to 8, huh? Okay.
Anyways, maybe. But with all that being said,
if we remember,
with all my gripes about this episode, it still gets a 9 out of 10 because not only did I get a Gold Ranger and a really nice and a really great way, because again, Yes, Nate is the nerd. Nate seems like he can't defend himself, but look at Ziggy. When Ziggy became the Green Ranger, he needed a lot of training. And Professor K is like, oh my god, I am getting Ranger Series 5 Green to
A loser.
probably to a loser who used to work for the Mafia and still owes the Mafia a ton of money.
And he has no martial arts skills.
And has no martial arts skills. It's the same with Nate. Nate's a nerd. Nate is a scientist. He is not a soldier. He's a scientist, and he acts like a scientist. That's his job, which we can all agree on is a really good job. He's their Hank Pym from Ant-Man. Okay, how Hank Pym is not just a soldier; he's a scientist. In this case, Nate's a scientist, and now he's not become a soldier.
He's more like a Mr. Fantastic. Because Mr. Fantastic has no fight training.
Okay, Tom, which Mr. Fantastic? Are we talking about comic book Mr. Fantastic, or are we talking about movie Mr. Fantastic?
Comic.
Okay, just making sure. Okay, then I can agree with you on. But not only did we get Nate becoming the Gold Ranger in such a great way, but we also get him having his own brother, because you found out that Steel not only has Big Bad Beetleborg DNA in him, he also has human DNA.
Yes, Nate's DNA.
Which I have to say, when him and his mom and dad reunite, it's gonna be really weird being like, hey, meet your new son. He has my DNA in him. Don't ask why.
It's like it's like when Jimmy Neutron introduced Brobot to his mom and dad, and like,
oh yeah,
but we can't really call him your brother. Ooh, I got you. Ooh, I really do.
I think it was done very well. You introduced both the Gold and Silver Ranger perfectly. I like it. And I like the fact that, again, this is the second episode in a row where this is the third episode in a row where they're like, it did not end on a good note. It ended on the Rangers may have unintentionally just gave another point to the bad guys. So, because now they're gonna have to treat Steel like a witness. Like they have to pretty much put him in witness protection. They have to essentially do what the Avengers did with Vision in Infinity War, where they had to protect them the entire time.
Oh, and like how Nate couldn't go outside the base without, someone to assist him. Now maybe even the person that Nate was looking forward to being his, assistant, he can't even leave. So basically they'll both pretty much probably get stuck inside Grid Battle Force.
Exactly. And I like that. I like the subtlety to that. So hence the reason why I give this a 9 out of 10. I think the only reason why is because you mean to tell me Great Battle Force does not have the funding to give teleportation devices. I'll leave it at that. 9 out of 10. Great episode. All right, Daggerboy, go ahead.
Okay, so my pros is it's a really good episode. I like how they introduced the Gold and Silver Ranger. Also, you guys notice it's actually homages Zeo. Remember when the Gold Ranger was like, "Oh, who's gonna be? And everyone thought it was gonna be Billy, and Billy was the nerd. And then look at Nate. So basically, I think the writers knew. And remember, there's actually Power Rangers fans actually writing this season.
Really? I did not know that.
So, remember I won't say anything. Remember the guy who was part of Hasbro, who actually was. I think he had input in making Beast Morphers. I think he put that side. So basically, this was a small homage to Zeo because Billy was supposed to be the Gold Ranger. Until depends wanted someone bigger, so yeah, they got Austin St. John, but this is basically a homage to Billy. So basically, Nate is Billy turning to a Gold Ranger. I got you something there. Got you something there. Okay, so anyway, my pros is it's a well done episode. I liked it. Stakes were high. Fighting was actually impressive. They did use some Sunday footage that's too much, but it was appropriate enough. I like the ending where it's not happy. It's more like, okay, oh god, it's bad ending again, bad note. It sets up for future episodes perfectly. My only complaint is I believe that this was too soon.
Yeah. No,
this was too soon.
You're right.
Because I wanted Nate more to be fleshed out. Well, I mean, I can't blame maybe studio, but still, I wanted Nate more fleshed out. I wanted Nate as the Gold. I wanted how they did for Dino Charge. Look at Purple Ranger. She was introduced in the last episode of the first season of Dino Charge.
Right.
And technically, the second season was her season. because like that's the reason why I love Kendall from Dino Charge. She's my favorite character because she was the most developed, the most fleshed out. That's why I like her character a lot. Well, Vicky, she's my favorite character in Dino Charge. She's my third favorite female ranger of all time. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah, I believe Nate was the gold and silver rangers was too soon. I would hope that they actually would love it more if they did just introduce Steel.
Yeah, that probably.
Yeah, Steel first. Then Nate can be maybe the last episode because Gold Ranger and Beast Morphers is really big. So technically, he has a lot of play in his shoulder, dude. The actor has a lot of play in his shoulder because the Gold Ranger is very vital to Go Busters.
Okay.
The jokes were kind of It kind of went flat a bit, but it's okay. It's just a little nitpick. Again, I liked it. My only complaint or comment is that I wish it was like later to the season. This was too soon. Like that's why like Dino Thunder. Like I didn't really feel anything for Tommy as a Black Dino Thunder because it was too soon.
They introduced him in like episode 4.
Yeah, I was like, nah. This way I felt more for Trent, and that's kind of yeah.
Yeah, because they actually took the time to flesh out Trent even more. Like after Tommy became the Black Ranger, you saw Trent more and more, and they slowly flushed him out until he became the evil White Ranger. Flushed his Jekyll and Hyde persona out until he actually became evil. Flushed that out, and then flushed out when he becomes a good guy and stuff like that.
Yeah. So overall, my rating is 9.5 out of 10. The only reason it's 9.5, I want to give it 10, but the thing is some jokes fell flat, and I wish it was it was later. 9.5.
Yeah, Nate's comment saying, "You guys have always been like my family." It's just like it's only been like a few weeks or even just a month.
Well, technically, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, in high school, I actually felt like that, so it's normal.
Maybe.
2 months.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Nate is the youngest out of the entire squad.
So he's
everyone else is like 19, 20 years old.
So remember, he's the most. Even though he's smart, he's the most naive.
Because he doesn't have a childhood.
Shouldn't we comment on the fact that they changed the Gold Ranger's animal theme from a beetle to a praying mantis? Should we comment on that?
We did. You want to know what it is? Big Bad Beetle Boy.
Yeah. So copyright. I'm sorry, copyright.
Anyways, but yeah, with all that being said, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And we're gonna hit the comments. So it's YouTube comments and Facebook comments time. So if you're watching this recording on YouTube right now, we are just finished off episode 8 of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, which is apparently the mid-season finale, unfortunately. And so now we have to wait until September. So if you haven't yet, if you love this episode, be sure to comment and be sure to like this video, like it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yams so many times in our YouTube comments and YouTube channel. Like this video and be sure to subscribe. So let's get started. Let's read some of these. What's up? Right. All right. Edward Sanchez. I'm so happy that Nate is the Gold Ranger. Yeah, I mean we're all happy that Nate's the Gold Ranger. It's just that, like Daggerboy said, I do agree with it. It felt a little rushed. I think they should have done it in the finale episode of season 1. I hope to God they do not call it Super Beast Morphers next winter. If they do,
or sometime in between the comeback from the mid-season, comeback from the hiatus, and the finale.
All right, Jordan Beeler, y'all can see it, right?
Yeah.
Good. Jordan Beeler. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? We're doing good, man. I mean, we're pretty much leveling down from our fever of Avengers Endgame because wow. That's a lot to say about that. And for me, because I mean, unlike these nerds, I watch real stuff. I watch Game of Thrones, and I watched it on Sunday night. And you even watched Game of Thrones? Shut up!
I did. I do. I Game of Thrones sucked.
Sorry. Time out. Have you been watching Game of Thrones since the beginning?
Yeah, Netflix. I already caught up.
It's on Netflix.
I mean HBO. Sorry, what's the HBO thing?
Oh my God. Whatever. Anyway, Monty. I only have time to say hello. Hey, Monty. How you doing? I'm pretty sure he's working, so that's why. What's up, Monty? Kayla Brown. Nice haircut, Quasar Red. Who's your hairstylist?
Hi, Kaylee.
Oh my God. Ever Sanchez, all TV shows take a hiatus. I know they all take a hiatus, Edward, but dude, you can't be taking a hiatus on the 8th episode. You just don't.
And not really make any announcement, although I didn't see it live when it aired on Nickelodeon. So.
Most shows, most American television shows will tell you when it's gonna be the mid-season finale or something like that. Like Walking Dead did it.
No, he didn't. Black then didn't do it.
Walking Dead?
Remember Shaolin Warriors?
Which one?
Shaolin Warriors.
What's Shaolin Warriors? You mean Shaolin Showdown?
Shaolin Showdown.
That was in 2005. We're talking about today.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about today. Agents of Shield will let you know when it's the mid-season finale, and they're taking their winter break and stuff like that. Like, come on now. Get with the program, peoples. But that's pretty much it, guys. So thank you guys to the Facebook crowd for your comments, much appreciated. And thank you guys for on YouTube for watching us. And this is Ranger Podcast Live. This is episode 8 of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, the apparent mid-season finale. So we're gonna be going on a little hiatus. We will be coming back for news. I think. Daggerboy, final comments. Where can they find you?
You can find me 7,000 miles across the world. Okay, no.
It's true.
They can find me at DancerBoy247 on Instagram, and they can find me at a village right now. I'm actually stuck in a jungle.
Amazing Wi-Fi though.
Yeah, it's good Wi-Fi. So it's funny. It's like they say it's uncivilized. Like this is civilized. Like you have a village full of Wi-Fi and cell phones and stuff, TVs, Samsung, whatever. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. I'll be back in the US next Friday.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'll be back next Friday.
But Quiz on Red, where can the audience find you?
Find me on Instagram, Brandon_K, as well as whatever.
Alright, and then you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, @Reckless_Fox. Find me on my YouTube page, Reckless_Fox. Find all my latest game content on twitch.tv/Reckless_Fox. And that's pretty much it. So until then, guys, thank you guys very much for always rocking and rolling with us. We much appreciate it. Shouts to everyone on Facebook. Shouts to everyone on YouTube. We, once again, greatly appreciate you guys. Thank you. God bless. And we will see you all whenever Beast Morphers comes back. Or we got some news to tell you. So, Morphin Network, Ranger Podcast Live signing out. Until then, we're Iron Man. Peace out. Deuces.
Bye, guys.
One is quick and one is strong. The other's brains can't go.
Shut up!
Big bad